Deep in the golden heart of the African savanna, there lived a wild pig named Kasongo. Round, muddy, and always serious. He wasn't the biggest, or the loudest, or even the fastest, but he was the most disciplined animal in the entire savanna. Every morning, while the monkey still yawned and the lion still stretched, Kasongo would be out running laps around the acacia trees. Dust flying, sweat dripping. He looked ridiculous, his tiny legs moving at lightning speed, his ears flapping like flags in the wind. The other animals would laugh every single day. "Kasongo, you're not built for running," shouted a zebra, trying not to choke on his breakfast grass. "Why waste your time?" teased the gazelle. "Even if you train for 100 years, you'll never be the cheetah." Kasongo didn't argue. He didn't even look up. He just kept running. Because Kasongo had a rule. You don't have to look like the best to train like the best. Weeks passed, then months. Every sunrise, Kasongo ran. Rain or shine, tired or not, he showed up. And slowly, the laughter started to fade. Even the hyenas, professional laughers by trade, got bored of mocking him. Then, one hot afternoon, a challenge echoed through the plains. The cheetah, sleek, smug, and fast as the wind, stood before a crowd of animals and declared, "I'm bored. No one here can match me. Not one of you slowpokes stands a chance." A hush fell. Then, from the back of the crowd, a familiar voice said softly, "I'll race you." Every head turned. Kasongo stepped forward, covered in dust, chest rising slowly. The animals gasped, then burst into laughter again. "You? Race the cheetah?" cried a baboon. "This is going to be good," whispered the lion, settling down to watch. The cheetah smirked. "You've got guts, pig, but this will be over in seconds." Kasongo smiled slightly. "Maybe, but I'm not racing to win. I'm racing to finish." That silence again, the kind that happens right before the impossible. The race began. The cheetah exploded forward, a blur of golden speed. Kasongo started slower, steady and focused. Hoof was pounding like a heartbeat. Dust swirled around them as the animals cheered wildly. Halfway through, the cheetah looked back, grinning. Kasongo was far behind, but he wasn't stopping. Every step looked painful, but he kept pushing. The cheetah, confident, slowed down to show off, swaying his tail, flashing that famous grin. But in that moment, something changed. Kasongo didn't chase him, he kept his rhythm. Step, breath, step, breath. When the cheetah paused to catch his breath, Kasongo passed him quietly, eyes focused straight ahead. The savanna went silent. Kasongo crossed the finish line. Not fast, not flashy, but first. The crowd exploded in shock. The cheetah's jaw dropped. The lion chuckled, shaking his mane. "Well, I'll be. The big beat the prince." Kasongo smiled, breathing heavy. "No, I didn't beat him. I just didn't stop." That night, as the animals gathered under the stars, an old tortoise approached Kasongo. "You trained for months, never complained, never gave up. How did you do it?" Kasongo grinned, wiping sweat from his snout. "Because every day I told myself one thing. It's not over until I win." The savanna fell silent for a moment, not out of shock, but out of respect. Even the cheetah bowed his head slightly. Kasongo became a symbol in the savanna, not of speed, but of discipline. Because the truth is, success isn't about outrunning others. It's about outlasting your doubts. Years later, when young animals asked the old lion for advice, he'd point toward the horizon and say, "See that trail of hoof prints in the dust? That's Kasongo's path." He didn't stop when he was tired. He stopped when he was done. Friends, this is Hustle Within. Remember, you don't need to be the fastest, the smartest, or the strongest. You just need to stay consistent, because the world eventually respects the ones who refuse to stop. Subscribe and keep rising.